William Jones, a man accused of killing 63-year-old Pinnon's employee Peggy Anderson, is sentenced to 55 years in prison.
WIFR reporter Sydney Stoffregan is live at the Winnebago County Justice Center, where just a couple of hours ago, Anderson's family members made moving statements about a life taken too soon.
Mike, Anna Marie, several of Peggy Anderson's family members looked William Jones right in the eye and wished him life in prison. Minutes later, Judge Brendan Mayer would respond to that, locking him up for more than 5 decades. Jones' attorney, Nick Zimmerman, asked the judge for a lighter sentence, arguing the defendant's guilty plea saved the family from the emotional damage of a trial. Judge Mayer didn't buy it, reiterating something prosecutor Ken LaRue said. Jones had many opportunities to turn his life around. The judge said the public needs to know random acts of violence like this won't be tolerated.
Peggy's oldest daughter, son-in-law, and son all work at Pinnon's, the very building their mom was slaughtered at. Slaughtered.
Jones did take the stand, apologizing to Peggy Anderson's family, saying he did not know the gun was loaded, and he says there is no excuse for his actions. In Rockford, Sydney Stoffregan, WIFR News.
Thank you, Sydney. And Jones did get credit for 543 days he's already served.
A mechanic